I guess we're just gonna do this podcast tonight, right? Still gotta do it.
Yep.
You know?
We have to.
Show must go on.
Show must go on, I guess.
Just,
I just don't. I don't have any wind in my sails at all right now. I just don't.
No.
I don't know.
It's not fun.
But
what are we gonna do about it?
I really don't know.
What are you going to do?
I really don't know. But
what are you going to do about
it? I'm just bummed out right now. I don't know how to kind of snap in. I tried a little bit. I tried a couple things before I came here, before I did the show.
Nap? Did you take a nap?
I did not take a nap, but
went down for a little bit.
I was sleeping in and out all night because my sleep was very reckless.
Why?
I
had a hard time.
If you want to know why, we'll get into it. And,
I want to get into it.
Yeah, I'll talk about it here, guys. They call us the Breeze. There's only one way to do it. So let's get to it. Let's go. All right, guys. They call us the Breeze.
Catcher.
That's Bravo, bro. Thank you. Yes. That's Bravo.
But you know what? It should just be SCO.
Yeah, just SCO.
Just go.
It's they call us the Breeds. That's Bravo, Romeo, Echo, Sierra, live from the Tiger Cage. Come on, Ryan. You're contractually obligated. You gotta, It's episode 49.
It's on a delay.
Episode 49, ladies and gentlemen. And we're out here in the Tiger Cage once again, doing another edition of They Call Us the Breeze for you.
Better.
Episode 49. We got a lot of show for you tonight. It's going to be a good one. I feel like it's going to be a great show.
I think it's going to be
It's going to be a very good show.
It's going to be a really big show.
It's going to be a good show, but I think we need to
despite my mood.
What's going on
right now, and despite everything that's happened over the last 24 hours in my life, the show must go on,
Must go on.
It must go on.
Yeah.
You know what?
We try not to take too much limelight away from the sister podcast. Is This Football? When they talk about sports, and we try not to talk too much about sports these days. I know you guys hear about the Lightning here and there from us, and we try not to abuse it because that's their show. It's a sports show. They can talk about that. We're here for good times at the Breeze,
Well, if they ask, is this football? It's like, is this October or November?
Yeah, but it's a little hard to it's a little hard to wake up
and feel in the pocket a little bit
today. It was a little hard to sleep last night, to be honest with you. Myself, I honestly swear to God, woke up twice throughout last night's sleep and just couldn't get back to bed because I was just thinking about everything. Everything just came flooding back over me, all the memories, all the shots, all the misses, all the near misses, all the missed calls, all the calls, everything. I mean, it was right there for me. Like
I'm sure you were looking over all the whiteboard drawings that you drew up for him and said,
I've woken up plenty of times singing over these last couple months. I really have. And I appreciate that. It's given me something to live for. But man, when you're on the opposite side of it, it is it's a little tough to get rolling out of bed. And like I said, it's a little tough to get a good night's sleep, if you're just waking up and remembering
on the couch. Yeah.
And what I'm referring to, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, like I said, we're normally not the sports podcast, but we are nearing the end of the Stanley Cup Finals, our third year in a row, and us out there to be Lightning fans. We're huge fans of the game. We've been watching these playoffs intensely. We've gone out to some games at some bars. We've watched at home. We've done everything we can to make sure we're supporting our dudes.
It's true.
And last night, and this is the weird part too. We do this show every Thursday night live, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live from the Tiger Cage. So those of you that listen to us live, you're out here with us in the Tiger Cage. But a lot of you listen on Monday when we come out with the final show. Monday will be. I mean, I can't predict what Monday is going to sound like. You might be getting this. You might be hearing this show for the first time at midnight on Monday, and you have just seen Game 6.
A massacre, or
you have seen Game 6 at home ice, or you didn't see Game 6 at home ice. You have either just watched it or it didn't happen. And that's kind of the dangerous part we're in right now. It's no joke. I mean, we talk about it all the time. We have the Lightning light. We have our Kucherov cutout up here. We're huge fans of the Lightning. And I don't think, to be fair, I don't think I really started watching again until, definitely when we got Stamkos, we started watching a little bit. But then I kind of fell off for a little bit. And then I was there the season that they went to the playoffs and lost and got swept to the Columbus Blue Jackets. I think for a lot of us, that's kind of, those of us that have been here and been involved this whole time, I think that's when a lot of us kind of started watching the Lightning again. Admittedly, was that season, 2015. I think that's when we all kind of started watching a little closer to the Lightning and being like, okay, we have something here. Now that was Ben Bishop in goal. That wasn't even Andrei Vasilevsky in goal.
No, when? Back 04?
No, 2015.
And then you had the threesome that was on that one line. What do they call them? Few years ago.
It was like Tyler Johnson.
Yeah.
It was,
yep.
Golly, who was it?
I couldn't even. I'd have to go back.
They call them something, the kids or something. Or
either way, we've been very spoiled over the last few years. Okay, we won in 2020. We won that, and that was the weird playoff thing where we
in the bubble,
where Ryan and I were supposed to go watch a game. I probably said this on the podcast before, but Ryan and I were supposed to go watch a game. It was just a normal season game. We were supposed to go watch it at Stevens. And shit was kind of starting to get stirred up about COVID. Okay, I think actually earlier that day, or the night before, actually, NBA stopped. And I was like, NBA, okay, all right, well, this shit's fucking getting serious. But Ryan and I had plans.
Oh,
it was a Monday or a Wednesday. And we had plans to go watch a typical regular season hockey game at Stevens. And I texted him at noon. I said, so the news is the NHL's just paused as well. If you still want to go to the bar with me, we can go. But we've been watching pretty intently since that season. And, we've been...
I'd say 2019.
We've been so spoiled.
As everybody has in the Tampa Bay area.
We got the cup that year. And even though we took a long break, and they had a deciding round where we weren't involved. It was people that were in the lower seeds that were kind of trying to figure out who was going to be in the cup. But then we didn't actually play till the first round, the first official round. But then, everybody had the same chance, and we won. And then the next year, it was a shortened season. It was 56 games. It was not 82 games. It was 56 games. It was a shortened season and dog shit because we could only play the 8 teams, whatever it is, 7, I think, within our division for the entire year.
Over and over.
Until we get to the playoffs. So this year was so much more important for me to be an 82 regulation, play everybody, back to the basics, and this was very important for me to get this win. And man, I tell you, like I said, I bet that $100 bet that we would go and win this cup before our season even started this year.
Yes.
I had that much confidence in our team, and we've I have a lot of confidence. I'm not going to, we'll get into this a little bit later as far as what's coming of the Lightning. When you talk about new players, I know that the salary cap's going to be an issue with Nick Paul, but we could probably try to hold on to Nick Paul. Hagel is brand new, and the kid's young. He's 23 years old. We have a lot of players that are still with us. Stamkos ain't going nowhere. Vasilevsky's not going nowhere. Hedman's probably not going nowhere. Probably a lot of players that are going to be traveled on to. But we'll get into that later. We're going to lament a little bit. We're licking our wounds here tonight. Okay,
I think
we're licking our wounds a little bit tonight.
I think our 2019 team would have held up good against this team.
I think the 2020 team was the best of all the teams.
They would have dominated.
I think our 2019 team.
But the point is, out there in listener land, if you're not
it
familiar, and we apologize. Maybe you don't follow hockey at all. The point we're at, and the situation we're in right now, as of Thursday, as of the 23rd here of June, as of Thursday. Now they're going to play tomorrow night, Friday, at 8:00. They're going to play back in Colorado. They're going to play Sunday. I guarantee you, they will at least play Sunday.
I hope so.
8 o'clock.
They're going to play Sunday,
back
guys.
here
Come
in
on,
Amalie.
have some little bit.
But the situation stands, ladies and gentlemen. It is currently, and like I said, you guys are going to get this episode. Most of you are going to listen to this on Monday, and you're already going to know the outcome of the Friday and Sunday games. And we don't. As we sit here right now, we have no idea. This is Thursday.
Zero
Thursday,
idea.
and there's
We're
two
coming
games
off our
between now and
our
Monday.
Game 4 loss last night, ladies and gentlemen, in the overtime of
Sucked.
3-2.
Second
And
overtime in 4
probably
games.
one of the best games that we've seen out of the Lightning so far, but we lost it. And we're licking our wounds a little bit today. We are now at the point where, as you know, it's a best of 7 series. So with them having 3 and we have 1, we have to win out now. And that is a very scary situation to be in for any team, sport, any fan. It doesn't matter what the thing is.
Well, if the Lightning won it worse than the Avalanche, they'll win out. If the Avalanche won it worse...
And you can go by a lot of these, Mike, you can go by a lot of these statistics where, like, basketball, maybe football, or I mean, not basketball necessarily, but football. Football is a great example of this, okay? When you go into the playoffs, you don't get best of 7 series. You have to win 3 or 4 games in a row. You have to just win. Now, granted, they're playing different teams each week, but these teams are expected within 1 game to win 3 or 4 games in a row to get to that Super Bowl and win that Super Bowl.
And
like I said, but the
the
caveat here is it's a different team every time. You're not playing a powerhouse like the goddamn Avalanche right now, and a team that has put us 2-1-2. I mean, 2-1-1 put us down 3-1 in this series, which I don't think anyone saw this coming. I mean, we thought it was going to be a tough series, but I had no idea it was going to be.
Now, what do you think they need to do?
Well, you know, and I talked to Jeremy about this like for the last, I'd say, 3 weeks ago when we were in our second series. He goes, Colorado, man, we got to watch out for Colorado, man.
I've been saying it since the
and
second.
I'm like, I had no idea because I don't really watch anybody but the Lightning and who they play. And I was like,
goddamn West Coast
Jesus
teams
Christ,
sometimes.
these guys.
I appreciate
fast.
that nod, but if I may say so, I've been saying this since halfway through the regular season. I've been saying there's 2 teams you have to watch out for on the West. You've got Colorado and you've got Calgary. And the Flames, I mean, they didn't perform as expected. They didn't perform as expected in the playoffs. But for most of that year, you had, I mean, even in our own division, you had us sitting kind of 3rd, 4th chair. Boston and us were kind of back and forth. We had the Leafs and the Panthers most of the season ahead of us. I mean, most of that season. Mm-hmm. So for us to be through what we went through with the Leafs and the Panthers, you could say considerably we've had the harder of matchups as far as the playoffs go, as far as, you know, because Colorado did sweep twice, and that's been the big buzz. Colorado swept twice. We swept once against the Panthers, but Colorado swept twice. Well, did they play teams like the Avalanche? Teams like...
How good are those teams in the West is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, because to be quite honest with you...
I don't recall
because you don't play them too often.
To be quite honest with you...
In the last 2 playoff series, nobody's quite as fast
the
as
2 divisions
guys.
in the East were very close to call. A lot of really good teams doing a lot of really good things in the East. The West was like there was 2-3 top teams and then just a bunch of shit below that.
Let me ask you this, okay? Do you think that like because of last season where we could only play our like whatever team,
the same 7 teams in our division over and over again,
bigger, better, stronger? Because honestly, the teams on the West Coast,
Carolina,
there's a lot of really good teams. So like once
Carolina,
the season came
Nashville.
over, they unleashed the fury.
Ohio, Columbus,
Do you think
Carolina,
they, like-
Nashville, Columbus.
They're bigger?
Chicago.
They're fast over on the West Coast,
Well,
dude.
that's what I'm saying.
They're
That's
crazy
what I
over there.
see.
So they probably just
We
unleash the hounds when this season they're like, wait, we can play anybody? Okay, let's just go ahead.
Let's go back to
I'm gonna get back to
John Tortorella.
I would like no.
You used to check guys, and you.
I would
had
like to
guys
go
that
back
hurt
to-
people.
Physical hockey.
It's not like that anymore. These guys are so fast.
I would like to go back to the situation that we're in right now. And I'm going to say something right now. Most of you out there, if you know me, I'm kind of pessimistic by nature. I can be kind of a downer sometimes. I can be a little pessimistic, not even realist. Sometimes I can have a pessimistic attitude. I'm trying to work on that. That's something I'm trying to personally work on. That does never translate when it comes to hockey. Sure, I might get a little down like during a game, and after a game I might get a little, but I'm never counting this team out. And I still believe they might be up 3-1 right now, and we're going to go to Colorado tomorrow night, Friday night.
We can win.
The way this team has played, forget the first round. The first round was like, oh God, we played on our heels for most of it. We got up there. We missed a close chance to win that in overtime, which, again, we were in overtime in our first game against the Avalanche.
Can you imagine if this goes to 7 games?
Like,
oh, it will.
But we did that, Mike. At least we went to fucking games.
Could you imagine if this Stanley Cup goes to 7 games?
The second game was an embarrassment. The second game was off kilter.
Well, I'm sure, and I didn't watch the third game. We embarrassed them back.
But the third game, we put Darcy Kemper on his fucking heels. And that was the biggest thing that I saw that gave us hope, was that if we can just continue to take shots on net and try to even the scoring chances here, it's a battle of goaltenders at that point.
It is.
And we have the better, obviously, of the two goaltenders.
We do.
So, but easier said than done. Obviously, easier said than done.
We got to keep it on the offensive side of the
From what I saw, my point is, from what I saw in Game 3, and then from what I saw in Game 4, the first period, shots were 17-4 in Lightning's favor. Jesus.
First period?
That is the
first
team.
period of this game?
That is the team that we have been. Now, I know they only scored 36 seconds in. They scored their first.
Second, it was about
I know they didn't do much after that. But the point is, they were at least getting as much as they could on Kemper. And Kemper had a hell of a game for the first time, because he wasn't challenged in the first two at all. Kemper was not challenged at all in the first two. We barely gave him anything to worry about. That dude could have been knitting a sweater the entire first two games. The third game,
we took his mask off.
We fucking no. We took his mask off early in the fourth game, Mike. But yes, but the third game, we gave him shit to defend, and he let up 6 goals.
It was last night's game.
Last night's when the helmet came off.
In the first
goal. In the first 36 seconds. A lot of dispute about that, because they're trying to say, okay, well, the helmet comes off a goalie, obviously the whistle gets blown. But
it was already after.
If it's in the middle of a scoring chance, which is what we had going there, they were batting away at the puck kept coming in and out. It was a lot of loose change, and they were just trying to find that loose change and get it into the fucking net, which is exactly what they did. It was on accident that the mask came off. I mean, our stick slapped the mask. I mean, I'm not gonna church it up. Our stick definitely slapped that mask when it came off. But that doesn't matter. The officials,
they're letting him play a little more.
They are letting him play a little bit more. And speaking of letting him play a little bit more, we're gonna get into that a little bit later on tonight.
Got tripped. The other guy got tripped.
Guys, thank you so much for hanging with us. They call us the Breeze. This is episode 49. We apologize, but this could very well be like the very end of hockey season. We've tried to keep it somewhat tame, but we're gonna keep doing a little bit more hockey. I hope you can forgive us, but we're gonna have regular things. We've got the celebrity birthdays coming up. Dad is currently down quite a bit. He is down 11 points, it looks like.
I have an appeal. I have an appeal to the judge.
I bet you do.
And then we're going to do a little Guess That Business. Ryan has a little Guess That Business for us tonight. And we're going to talk about some traditions and superstitions while watching the hockey game. We're going to talk about Bathroom Becky, if you guys haven't heard about her. And I have a little Haters Gonna Hate. Just a little note to our fans. If and when we do come back to Game 6, I have a little note for our fucking fans that can afford to go to the stadium. And and then we're going to do a little Did You Know That? Things that have been thrown out onto the ice during a hockey game. So it's a very hockey-centric podcast tonight, but we're definitely going to stick to our roots, and we're going to have some fun. And yeah, God, we appreciate you out there listening to us. Ryan, what do you say, man?
We'll see you in a little bit, guys.
Yeah, we're going to take a little
break.
Tune
right back in. Don't leave that channel. Let it go. Let it roll. Let it roll.
Right,
we'll
guys.
be right back.
We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Rolling
in the river.
Well, welcome the hell back, ladies and gentlemen. It is They Call Us the Breeze, Bravo, Romeo, Echo, Sierra, live from the Tiger Cage, episode 49. We're chilling. We're licking our wounds a little bit. We licked our wounds
in the first segment. We got to talk about what we
There's going to be plenty more hockey talk coming up, so, I just apologize in advance. But you know what? It is the second segment.
Absolutely.
And one thing, one comeback, one huge match that's always going to be continuously going. Much like, the NBA, the NFL, the NHL, MLB, these sports are going to keep going. One thing that never stops also is They Call Us the Breeze's celebrity birthdays. Yep. And as y'all know, if you didn't listen back to last episode, check out episode 48. We had a little small claims.
We're not allowed.
Okay, all right. Well, you don't got to air out your nasty feelings right there, Mike. But I'll agree with Mike because I was with him, and we got called on some cheating. What do you want to call them?
You were accused of cheating.
We were accused of cheating. Yes, basically. And Ryan got the points back, and so now it is actually it's 11 points of a deficit.
How do you guys feel about that one? Because we came in here and we freaking Mr. Loretti and I won.
Dad was down 4, but then he became down 6, and then he lost 5 more points because you got 2 double bubbles last episode. So make sure you go listen to that too.
God, I have a great lawyer if anybody needs.
But guys, it is time. It's time for celebrity birthdays. Without further ado, it's time to get into it. Let's go.
LLC.
Here we go.
Happy birthday! It's your birthday. Yay! Happy fucking birthday!
There's no birthday party for you here.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, They Call Us the Breeze celebrity birthdays. This list is a little tough, guys. Not gonna lie, this is a tough one. Slim pickings,
Oh, I know how old he is.
I'll let you. We do this every time. Every time he makes that joke. But no, tonight, seriously, it is slim pickings again. So we'll see what you guys can come up with. Dad will go first, Ryan will go second, and then so on and so forth until we get all 5 birthdays down the gullet. Like I said, he's down 11 points, but Dad's up first.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, avert your eyes, you pervert. Very, very lovely, very sexy, and very, very beautiful actress. Although she hides behind those big, thick framed glasses in the sitcom that she's been on for years and years. She ended up marrying Howard Wolowitz on The Big Bang Theory. I have no idea how that dude scored this chick. She is super talented, super funny, and she's got that really squeaky high voice, Howard.
Mom can understand about 50% of what she says.
But Bernadette is played by Melissa Roch. It is her birthday today, so happy birthday, Melissa Roch.
36.
That's going to say 36.
Man, that's a good guess, but I think they've been on air for at least 15 years, right? 18 years.
Something like that,
So
yeah.
I'm going to say she's probably...
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, I got it?
I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, we got to go to small claims court after that one. I'm going to say she's probably 40.
40. Ryan's going to get it anyway. She is 42, so happy birthday to you, Melissa Roch.
She reminds me of Megan O'Malley.
No.
Wait.
No.
I messed
Megan Mullally.
Yes.
She's got that high-pitched voice. But yeah, super cutie. Super 100% cutie. All right, next birthday we have up for you tonight.
How many years she been on that show? I know how long
I would say probably about
is.
Yeah, Ryan said about 15 years, and I'm
Really?
not even going to argue that.
Yeah,
next birthday we have up for you
changed my
tonight.
answer.
She was in Cruel Intentions back in the 90s. She had short black hair. She's been in other things. She's hilarious at times. Super foxy. I don't really know much other things other than Cruel Intentions, but happy birthday anyway goes out to Miss Selma Blair. And that is not Linda Blair's daughter, ladies and gentlemen. That is unrelated. I checked.
All right, Dad.
that.
I'm gonna give you an. Obviously, this is good for your advantage, right?
Selma Blair.
So you can dance around this number.
She was out in Cruel Intentions, which was Ryan Felipe and Sarah Michelle Gellar.
I get
back
to go
in the
first,
90s.
right? He can just dance around my answer here, right?
Yep.
I'm saying she's gonna be
I have a number
50.
Too high.
50.
Ryan's going to say 50.
49, because I think she's probably be around 45 or something. Double bubble?
Ryan's going to get the double bubble.
Danger zone.
Really?
Danger zone.
Yeah, Selma Blair is 50 today.
See,
Great
I was
job,
based on, I was thinking she would have been like 23 or 4, and this is 20 plus years later.
Yep.
So I was going to say 45. But since he
She
said
got in the
50,
game a little late, apparently. Yeah, well, hey, avert your eyes, Ryan. We got our third birthday
so that's
coming
3.
up for you.
That's 137.
Here we go. There was this one time when I was out in public and I saw Randy Jackson, and I only had this samurai sword on me, and you're not going to not get Randy Jackson's autograph. So he signed the samurai sword. So happy birthday goes out to Randy Jackson. Now, Randy Jackson, did you know he played bass for Journey for a little while? Like for about 2
he's like
years
a
in the
bass
80s.
mu-
Yeah,
he's like
82 to 84.
I know
think,
he was in
something
a
like
lot
that.
of different music or whatever
Yeah, he's
and
a
stuff.
studio bass
so
player.
I'm,
Yeah,
I'm going to
he-
guess he's 67.
67, Dad says.
That's
Ryan,
going to
what
be
do
a
you
no
got?
for me, dog. I'm going to say he's 63.
Dad's going to get it. One off from a double bubble. He is 66 today. Happy birthday, Randy.
Well, I mean, American Idol started way back when. And if he's been producing people's music when he started American Idol.
Right. Oh, he's still in
He
the
had
music.
been
You
around
know
40.
he's still like doing
Well, yeah,
more
I know
than
he is.
American
I
Idol.
Is
mean,
that
he
what he
looks
looks like
sick as-
right now?
No, he looks way skinnier than that right
he
now.
looks like he's about to die. I mean, he's playing the piano.
He looks
and
like
stuff.
Beetlejuice's shrunken head right now.
I know.
I didn't put that picture up because I thought that was a little degrading. Normally, I go with the most recent picture, regardless of
Yeah,
how
he
bad
looks
it is.
terrible.
But I gave Randy a little bit of leeway. I gave him the weight loss, but I didn't give him the crackhead Beetlejuice look.
As Charles
Okay.
Barkley would
All
say,
right.
he looks
Terrible.
Terrible. All right, next birthday, second to last, we have up for you tonight. All right, so he did a
136.
song. He did a song called "Lucky," and he does "I'm Yours." He's kind of a Jack Johnson type, but he's been in the game for a little while, and he's done some duets. Like I said, "Lucky," which premiered on Glee. Very popular.
Jason Mraz or
always
something?
wears a fucking fedora all the time, but still, he's a dude out there doing his fucking
What show
thing.
was
Yeah,
he on? Was
Jason
when he was
Mraz.
young?
Jason Mraz?
No, he's just a musician, and he's had some hits, 2000s and more. And so, yeah, I'm Yours was one. Lucky was the big
Is
one
he a
that
kids band or something?
Nah, he's
No,
just a
just
solo
he's just
artist.
kind of like a John Mayer type.
Yeah, he's probably like 41.
2.
Well, Ryan's gonna go 41. Dad's gonna go 42. Dad's gonna get it because he is 45 today. Happy birthday, Jason.
Can't wait for your next album.
Yeah, apparently there is a new album coming out, and no one's excited about it. So
So
yeah.
I'm one down.
But
I am.
like I said, slim pickings tonight. All right, last birthday we have for you, sports category here. So maybe you guys be a little bit better.
I'm one down. Maybe I'm tied.
He no longer
Be even
plays
for the
for the
night.
NFL, but he definitely did for a while. I know a lot of people were fighting over him for definitely for their fantasy football teams. I mean, I guess he was best known as LD. LaDainian Tomlinson, ladies and
Running
gentlemen,
back.
is his birthday today. Played for the Chargers for a little while. I think he played for the Jets for a little while.
34.
No longer in the league.
34.
No longer in the league? Okay.
No longer
30,
in the
no,
league.
no, I want to change I'm going to change it to 36.
36, Dad says.
36.
Nah, I'll go. What was your original?
34.
I'm going to burn you on
But
this.
he's been-
34.
All right, Dad says 36. Ryan says 34. Actually, Ryan, flip it around. You would have got the double bubble, bud. It is 43. LD is 43. So Dad gets that
it.
point
Gosh
tonight.
darn it.
All
So we're
right, good
still even.
birthdays. Oh, that was a little, sorry. We got a lot on the board tonight.
Happy birthday! It's your birthday! Yay! Happy fucking birthday!
Wait a minute, there's no birthday party for you here.
No birthday party for me in here, guys. Welcome back. They call us The Breeze. Thank you for listening to Celebrity Birthdays and episode 49. For every one of you out there that's listening, there's 1,000 of you that aren't. So tell your
Yeah.
friends about it. Make sure you go out and subscribe to Tiger Cage Media on YouTube. And make sure you're checking out our sister podcast, Is This Football? Every
Is It
Tuesday
Football?
night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Speaking of Is This Football, it's funny because their last show, they are a sports podcast. Their last show, they started this new St. Petersburg Best of the Berg bracket. And that's all they talked about for the entire show.
What does that mean?
No sports came up whatsoever. But Edward decided to come up with this list of things, and he did them in random order, and he used a randomizer on his phone. So, like, it would be like Cuban sandwiches, which is a Bay Area thing. Like, it's definitely a Tampa original. It's a Bay Area thing, and there's lots of good ones in St. Pete as well. Versus Fort DeSoto Park. So the matchups were totally random, and they were just kind of having to figure out. I mean, I was part of it. I had to give my third vote, and that's how we decided. A lot of times I was a tiebreaker. A lot of times Dan was a tiebreaker.
Wow.
Good show to listen to, but it was going so long that actually it's going to be a second part coming up next Tuesday. So make sure you check out the first part and then go listen to the second part.
What is the best of Tampa Bay?
I mean, it was best of the Bay, but best of the Berg more specifically. But there was some things that were just kind of Bay Area oriented as well.
Food
not
and
so
everything.
much,
Food,
not so much Berg,
sports,
but yeah,
blah,
like
blah, blah.
The pier.
Bars,
but the pier was
sites.
on the list. Steve's Tavern was on the list. There's a couple things that
Places to go.
and then we're going through this bracket. So we had the first part of the bracket this past Tuesday. Make sure you listen to that episode 20 on Is This Football?
They're
And
almost 21, huh?
Yeah, and then make
Almost
sure
ready
you
to
listen
take it
next
for
week
drinking.
for the continuation of that bracket. But the point I'm trying to make is that these guys did an entire show as a sports podcast without sports. And the Breeze, unfortunately, like I said, I mean, this might be one of the last times we get to talk about hockey. We're taking it over. I mean, it's a little bit of a hockey podcast tonight. We just had celebrity birthdays, but I'm not done talking about the Lightning. I still believe, and what I want to say, one thing I wanted to bring up more than anything, okay, just like the stress level. I have not been able to do mainly anything. Like, I haven't cleaned the apartment in 2 weeks.
Because of the...
Today, personally, I have not showered
Wait
in
a
2
minute.
days.
You haven't showered or cleaned the apartment because of a hockey team?
I'm just saying, like, I've just been... I haven't showered. I was off yesterday. I took a random day off, and I didn't do anything but sit around the apartment and watch the game. And then I went to the bar for a minute, but like that was it. I didn't sweat at all, so I didn't take a shower yesterday. I didn't take a shower today because I was just like, and that's
So
the kind
that's
of
that smell.
mental effect that just this whole thing has been having on me. Like I said, I woke up twice in my sleep last night.
I didn't sleep well.
I woke up twice in my sleep last night and just remembered what had happened and just started thinking about it and overthinking it because there was a lot to think about with that game.
Yeah,
I mean,
I didn't do that.
Like I said,
you could rack your brain around with that game.
I just
last
couldn't
night.
sleep, but I didn't.
I
do
went
that.
to the first 2 periods. I spent them at the bar. I mean, obviously the bar gets a little packed. The bar I go to, Stevens, it's about
how late are they open?
Well, it's about max capacity of 20, 30 people around that
Tradition.
bar.
Yep,
Tradition.
I like it.
So
It's
there's
nice.
not
I've
a
been
whole lot of space if it gets bumping. So you got to get in there around 7 o'clock. So I got in there at 7. I set up shop right in front of one of the TVs. And they turn all the fucking TVs. Doesn't matter which TV you're in
same
front
game.
of.
They have the
Same
audio
game.
going too?
And they do the audio. They had one TV that was on the Rays game that was currently happening, which I've had a friend tell me that when the Rays win, the Lightning lose, which that's a whole other thing. We'll get into that on another podcast. But the Rays were winning on a different TV. One TV out of like 12 TVs. And they turn the audio up and everything's great. So, I mean, it's a good spot to
I
watch
know
it.
we went down
But
and watched the Lightning game.
I was there watching 2 periods, and then I was like, all right, I can go home. I can watch the rest on mine because it's starting to get emotional. I'm starting to get nervous. And at this
Throwing
point...
up a little bit.
Well, no, at this point, I just don't think it's responsible of me to be out in public. I'm going to start pouring them on. We have a job to do. I'm going to start getting really excited, and I want to just kind of, when the pressure's that fucking high, you just kind of want to be in a safe space, and you can just celebrate and do your cellies on your own with your cat. And so that's kind of where I was headed for the third and the overtime, which unfortunately, like I say, I mean, I'm going to say right now, like I said, I'm a pessimistic most of the time. We've got this, ladies and gentlemen. I will never stop believing.
Absolutely, we do.
I will never stop believing in the Lightning. All we have to do
It's just outwork them.
is we have to go to Colorado tomorrow night at 8 p.m. We have to win. That's it. Just one game at a time. We win tomorrow night. Let's say it's even just 3-2.
Well,
Again,
well,
like this last. Well, let me finish.
One period at a time.
One period at a time. One game at a time. We win this game. Let's say we win this game just like they did, 3-2. Now we're coming back. Now, one thing I would challenge you is out there in listener land. Like I said, most of you are going to be listening to this on Monday, so none of this might matter. We will have already played Game 5 and hopefully Game 6.
Fell over.
But I just want to challenge you to think, if you're Lightning fans out there and you've been following the series, I want you to go and remember what it felt like after Game 2. And you were sitting there the next day and you were going, oh yeah, I mean,
Dejected.
there's just no fucking way. There's no way with this Colorado team. Absolutely none. And then I want you to think about how you felt after Monday night's game when we woke up Tuesday and we were 6-2 and they had pulled Kemper and put in Francouz and just think about how you felt.
Did you watch the whole game? What was the score when they pulled the swap?
5.
I was so excited.
I would have never done that.
So
John
just
Cooper,
think about
just a boy.
that's besides my point. My point is, think about how you felt when you woke up that next day. And if you're like me and you've been clinging on to every word that everybody's saying and just watching every bit of footage you can fucking get your hands on, think about how traumatic you felt Monday afternoon versus Tuesday afternoon. And then you woke up singing, right? Okay. And then we just lost one game. I know it's 3-1. I know we're going into Colorado, and I know their fans are way louder and way more engaged than our fans, which I'm going to get into later on tonight. I understand that. But our boys are not done, dude. And they're going to go in, and they're going to go in on Game 5, and they're going to fucking play the way they played most of the third game, which I loved. For last game, like I said, first period, 17 shots on 4. These were our boys again. They're starting to break down the Avalanche. and the truest testament to that breakdown is going to be to see if we can chip away at them enough to win tomorrow night on their home ice with Lord Stanley in the fucking building, which is just insane to think about. But if we win that one, play this one game at a time. If we win tomorrow night's game, we come back home where we still have an 8-2 in this series, in these playoffs alone at home. We're still 8-2. That's a pretty fucking good. If we go and we got close these past 2 games. I mean, I know we won the game 3, but we got close this fucking game. I know we let it go. And, one thing I'm going to bring up, probably, I don't know when in the show, but bring up the disappointing call that was not made at the overtime. But with that call, and I know a lot of you guys know what that call was, the Lightning were still outplayed heavily in the overtime. So you can't say that a bum call cost us that game, because for 12 minutes until that goal was scored,
theoretically, a call should not determine
you have
the
3
game.
periods
Hard work should
to
be
score.
able to out.
Yeah, you got to play all 60 minutes. And if it goes overtime, you got to play 72 minutes. And we didn't play those last 12 minutes. We absolutely did not.
You got 3 periods of
so you
20
can't,
minutes to win.
You can't necessarily say that it was tied to one direct thing. But if I was going to say, there's something very kind of, I mean, for bigger reasons, for the greater picture, for the greater good of the league and just how the games are called in general, I think there's maybe something we need to address. A rule that's been there for a very long time, so there's no way to challenge it. But I think every series and everything that happens, there are things that like the cross-checking penalty within this series. They basically amended a rule overnight. Sometimes they're going to amend rules and they're going to make new rules each season. And they've been getting soft, in the past 20 years. So
Are you talking about the players?
Just the commissioners and the rules and they've been amending and doing rules based on situations like this, Mike, where things happen in huge games like this, and they're not allowed to do anything about it.
Well, and as games
and
get
then
further,
a rule gets made the next year that they can do something.
and
about
as
it.
the playoffs get further and further in the Stanley Cup Finals and in the finals, obviously you have less fighting, so you're not going to the bench for
Well,
that.
yeah, that's
you're not going to. The refs
especially
definitely let them
especially
play.
with their power play right now.
I mean, I
Avalanche's
saw
power
two
play, you
tripping
gotta
calls
stay out the
last
box.
night,
That's-
one for us and
yeah.
one for them, that they just figured, okay, we're even.
There was a lot of things last night that were not called. Ryan probably backed me up on this. A lot of things that weren't
Hedman was
called.
tripped.
They
last
had to
night.
give things out. They had to, if you get
Hedman
a,
was
if you get
tripping,
a,
the guy was tripped
if
later.
you get a penalty, then you have to give the other person the penalty.
Yeah, I mean, so it becomes at that point where like, well, if we didn't call it on this, we can't call it on the Lightning.
No.
Next round, you have to be fair, and
Exactly.
and that's when it gets bullshit, because now the refs are now keeping books in their head of like, okay, well, I kind of let this one go, so now I have to kind of let this one go.
And it was in the same
Otherwise, they're gonna
area,
be
same
lynched.
area, so the same ref probably is like,
I mean,
okay,
You
we're
have to
even.
give it back. You have to ref the game.
And we could do a
It's
whole
It's like
shit.
football.
yeah.
It's like football.
You get
know,
so much wiggle room, and then you
Well,
get so many rules, but then you have to let the refs go ahead and dictate that game.
And there
It's
are
at the end of
plenty-
the day.
yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's they're the fucking refs.
They're
They're
on
the
the
judges.
ice.
They're the
Yeah.
They're
judges.
on the ice.
Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
judging the same
They're the
game.
zebras.
They're all judging the
They're
same
the
Look,
game
you can
together.
go ahead and you can chirp them as much as you
I mean, you
want.
go to Toronto,
They'll remember it. Then the coaches will remember it, and then they get into shit. But yeah,
The headquarters is Toronto, right? So you can go up there for a review.
So before we
but-
go to break, the big talk today, definitely on Twitter. I mean, last night even Twitter exploded with
a monkey that killed.
Well, with the overtime goal in game. Well, this is the last thing I want to say about the game itself. We're going to get into a little bit more hockey fun, but it's going to be just hockey fun. But this is the last thing I'm going to say. And like I said, guys, we're still flying our flags, okay?
For sure.
Go out there, wear your fucking hats, wear your T-shirts with pride over the
It's
next
a little
couple
hot,
days.
but
It's up
tank
to you
tops,
guys.
if you have a tank, put it
Wear
on.
your T-shirts with pride. Wear your hats. Ryan and I have pins on our apron. I just washed my apron today. I took the pin off. I washed it. I put the pin right back on
A
for
lightning
tomorrow
pin?
night. Yep, it's a lightning pin that's on my apron. If you have the flags out there, and we have huge flags, we have not only a banner flag that hangs over one of the windows of the Tiger Cage here, but we have the flagpole flag, both flying in the air.
We support all the flags.
Don't stop believing. Just fly your flags high, and I promise you guys, when you're listening to this show, hopefully by Monday, we're all going to be laughing and singing a way different tune that we're going to Game 7 on Tuesday night, and it's even keel.
That
and
would be special.
It would be special, and we're not out till we're fucking out. So that's the last
right.
thing I'm going to say. But the last thing I will say about the game is, John, I don't know if you guys saw John Cooper's interview last night after the game. And to be fair, they're catching these guys basically right off of wins or losses. These guys are coming in, and God bless them because they're kind of contracted to do so. But you've got, dudes like Kucherov, Sergachev coming in, like, especially last night, Sergachev was around when that last goal was scored. You've got them kind of coming in and doing their interviews. John Cooper, for the most part, all I've seen of him over his career, very balanced dude when it comes to talking on the microphone.
Do you know what he studied in school?
He's a lawyer.
He's a lawyer, and he was a junior hockey coach, and then just got into the league that way. It's a very fun story, but point is, he's always been pretty poised. Whether they lose or win, it doesn't matter what. He's always very even keel. And last night,
He was,
unprecedented,
never seen
very
it.
emotional. He came out. There was only one question that was asked. First question was something to do with. I remember the guy. He said something like, in the first period, you guys definitely dominated. What happened? Like, since that first, did you feel that it was starting to? And Cooper kind of just went off the question and just said, "Hey, listen," and he says, "I got tremendous respect for this league. I got tremendous respect for everybody. It's an all hands on deck situation. The players, the coaches." The franchise leaders, the officiating, the league, everything that goes into it. This league has given me so many opportunities that, when you're just a kid and you're from Canada, you never think and especially in his case, it's not like he's a hockey player turned hockey coach. This guy
Is
was
at the
in law
prime
school.
time show,
This guy
dude.
was in law school, and then he just randomly had a change of heart one day and started coaching junior league hockey, and then eventually was just picked up to fucking coach NHL hockey. And he's been our beloved, and that's one thing. He might not be an X's and O's type guy, but he's a motivator type guy. He's got the spirit, and he knows how to talk to people and sell a case as far as how they should feel. You know, he's a feelings guy.
He's been a hockey fan.
Yeah, so that's why. I mean,
Since he was young.
a big part of what we do is obviously we're one of the best fucking teams. We have been for years. But a big part of what we do is John Cooper being our
because what's between there?
Yeah, in your head,
between
dude.
the ears,
and he's been great at doing that. And he was so upset at this press conference. He was like,
for the officiating.
He's like, I can't really talk right now. What I saw, and he said, it's a heartbreak. It breaks my heart for these players, and you'll know what I'm talking about when you see that goal tomorrow. Now, what he was talking about was that he now 12 minutes into overtime, and we had some good looks. They had some good looks. It was kind of, a free for all at that point. But they were a better team. The Avalanche were a better team during the OT, and we had some good looks. But the last and final thing that happened was too many men on the ice, and everybody got into this, and this was a huge thing, it was on Twitter, everything. There was literally, if you look at the score sheet that was first handed down by the NHL at the game, it lists 7 men on that ice, including the goalie, at the time of the goal. And they don't even judge that by like binocular guys anymore. It's done by like chips in their
there's
skates.
7 men on the ice for Avalanche?
They had an extra guy out.
You have to be
7
within
including the
5
goalie, so
feet of the
6
boards.
guys out on the front. You have to be within 5 feet of the boards. Now, obviously they have the mechanics all wired up to detect this. And it was said that this guy was literally still 5.5 before Nadir. What's his name?
Nadam
Kadri, who had been injured for a lot of this playoffs series. Nadam Kadri comes out, and as he comes out of the box, and McKinnon is still 5.5 feet, maybe 6 feet away from the bench. McKinnon is skating to the bench. Nadri jumps out and is immediately fed the puck, and he takes it. And as we know, the fucking rest is history. So,
I did not.
With that being said, but rule number 74.
Time to say, yeah, that's a goal.
Rule number 74.1 in rule number 74.1 in the hockey manual of rules states that, unfortunately, under any circumstances, and offsides, once the whistle is blown, once the play is blown dead, not offsides, I apologize. Too many men on the ice.
Penalty.
If it's not blown there during play and the whistle's blown without calling it, it is not reviewable. There's nothing we can do about it, knowing it now.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And it wouldn't be so now. They change on their side, right? They change on the side that they're rushing. They change their bench at this point in the game. Their bench is in our zone. Okay, so they're closest to our zone. Obviously, it's debatable on whether or not that would have made a difference. But like I said, Nadri, whatever his name is,
I think it's Nazem.
Kadri.
Probably
yeah.
not.
Kadri jumps out of the box, and McKinnon's still skating there. And Kadri is immediately fed the puck, like literally the minutes his fucking skates hit the ground. So that is where you can argue it now, but you can't. But you can't.
No.
And like I said before all of this, we lost that period on our own.
We did.
So you can't. But that would have been a 2-minute power play. And who knows?
Changed the game.
Who knows what would have happened in that 2-minute power play?
If they would have called a penalty, too many men on ice, and gave us a penalty.
But if candies and nuts were raindrops and butts, then or whatever they say,
Yep.
it's water under the bridge. It's over.
You should never poke me.
So I'm just saying right now, we go back over there to Colorado. We give them what for?
Smoke weed first.
Smoke a little bit of weed first. Do some dabs. Fucking do a little couple shotguns, a little shotgun regatta.
Dad doesn't.
A power play could have made a big difference right there.
Yeah, really could have. But you know what? That's all I have for at least our take on the games.
But it is what it is.
And we're going to get into
the
rest of the cup, and we're going to play with our fucking chins held high, guys, and we're going to get this shit. What do you say? You guys in?
I'm in.
All right, we've
Chins
dragged
in.
on. We've
Chins
dragged on.
in, boys.
I'll keep my flags in like.
We've dragged on way too long about hockey talk. We do have some hockey-related fun coming up, but it will not be the same stuff you've had so far. So thank you for bearing with us on the actual hockey chat. Next up, we have Guess This Business.
Yeah,
with
I'm
Ryan.
thirsty. I'm thirsty
Ryan's a little
now,
thirsty.
dude.
Dad, what do you say, man?
I'm anxious to see what this business is.
Yeah, let's
And
see if I
I don't
can-
know if that's a clue or not.
All right, let's go.
And it has a
I'm
risk.
just an alcoholic.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys, don't go anywhere. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
See. Yeah, I mean that could have made a difference. A penalty.
Yeah, I think there's only one way to do it. Let's get to it there. Hey, Mike, what do you say? You know?
That's good. Let's go. Let's go.
All right.
Let's roll.
All right, let's do it here. Come on. Can I go there?
Yeah, go, bud.
I'm just kicking it after game 4, and I'm looking forward to game 5, and we're gonna fucking win, and we're gonna come back alive.
That's so good there, bud.
Yeah, you know, it was fucking good there, bud. Yeah, we're gonna win that game 5 there.
Hey.
You know, hey, we're gonna take this ship back up to Colorado there,
Yes.
and we're gonna play some fucking 5-on-5 hockey.
Yes.
And we're gonna show them why we won the last 2 Stanley Cups there. And Lord Stanley, God knows he needs another tan, you know. So
on him.
God knows he's looking a little pale out there. So let's try to bring him home, boys. You know, all hockey talk aside, but we're gonna have a little more hockey talk. Like I said, more in a celebratory fashion. We're gonna talk about Did You Know That tonight. Did you know that it's gonna be a specific thing? It's top 15 things that have been thrown on the ice back in the day. I mean, I know we all know the number one, which is probably the octopi with the Detroit Red Wings, you know, back in their day. But we're going to have some good fun stories for you up there. So make sure you stay tuned. Next, I'm going to stop doing this accent here anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as Ryan gets started with the next segment, guys, it's time. Ryan only does this every once in a while.
Sure.
Super excited that he can come in and shed a little fun light on the
Shed a
show
little
today
light?
because God dang knows we need it. You know what I'm saying? So it's time, guys. Ryan's got another episode, another edition of Guess That Business. So let's go.
What business are you in?
It's none of your business.
Business ethics.
That's none of your damn business, and I'll thank you to stay out of my personal affairs.
That's right, guys. Welcome back. They call us the Breeds. That's Bravo, Romeo, Echo, Sierra, live from the Tiger Cave.
Welcome back.
Episode 49, segment 3. Ryan has his first in a little bit, right? Probably a little bit.
Yeah,
It's been
thank
a
you very
few
much
weeks.
there, Rem. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we're out
We're not
of
going to
hockey
keep doing
now.
it there. But, you know,
I do.
like,
I do. I
We're
have
on
a-
the
I have
south
a-
side. We're
I
on
have
the
a
south
fun-
side of Detroit.
I have a fun business that I kind of want to.
So for those of you guys out there that might not have ever seen the show before, Ryan does this little bit every once in a while. It's called Guess That Business. Now,
I
I
like
mean,
to keep y'all
I'm not
smart.
I'm not going to say that's not to say that there's been times where I've completely pummeled his ass and sacked his ass, if you would, in the football terminology world. Literally, he comes out and he says, they're from Vermont. And I was like, Ben and Jerry's, bitch.
Yes.
And like, I've had some times where I've kind of just annihilated Ryan in the pocket, you know, before he can even get the fucking Hail Mary going. But
Okay.
tonight, I think he might have something going on tonight. So it's Ryan's turn
You know
for
something I
Guess
don't
That
know?
Business.
Are you guys ready for this?
I'm
No.
pretty
Are
fucking
y'all ready for this?
ready. I'm ready
Yes.
for this.
Well, let's just go ahead and start it off with saying that this business was founded in our backyard, meaning
Florida.
Florida, meaning a little bit closer than Tallahassee, a little bit closer than Gainesville, a little bit closer than Tampa, on the East Coast by the Gulf. Now let's go in.
West Coast by the Gulf or East Coast?
East
of-
Coast.
East Coast. I'm so sorry.
South of Daytona.
No.
or
West
right
Coast.
around
No,
Daytona.
West Coast. Our side.
Oh,
Our
our
side.
I was about to
Our
say East
side.
Coast, like
No, our
So
side.
south of
Cocoa
Tampa.
Beach and stuff.
So you're talking about Sarasota.
The founder.
On down.
His name is Pete Warhurst.
Hmm.
Okay. The company was founded November 10th, 1998.
It's kind
Now-
of old.
Now, keep in mind the areas that this
Pete.
Oh, I think I know this one.
The
Pete
air-
Warhurst.
the areas that this
Janice Live.
you're thinking of Phil Knight. And he also has the cable companies. Yes.
Okay. Oh, night cable. All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So areas, in quotations, they only operate in the United States, Canada, Australia, and the UK.
What's his name again?
His name is Pete Warhurst.
Warhurst. German, yeah?
I don't know.
Four continents, countries of the
98. 98. That's the intriguing
That's not very
part.
long ago.
So think, it can't be think economically. It
Well,
cannot be a
I
snack.
have a pretty good
snack
fucking,
can go everywhere.
I have a pretty good fucking handle on 98 because like Nintendo 64 came out in 96.
But
What city-
Nintendo games go everywhere.
What city?
They don't just run in four main.
What city is this business incorporated in?
Clearwater.
Okay.
1998.
Okay.
Now
here we go.
Is this a business that was
Is it a-
first invented?
Let me tell
by
you
him?
a background
Is
about
it a
him.
tech business?
Was the market invented by him, or did he join onto a market?
Is it a tech business?
He found a way to make a market better, more convenient for people
eBay.
that needed to stash
eBay.
things. Okay. I like this. That's not it. No, it's not. eBay
Stash
wasn't.
things. He just said stash things.
Yes. Stash things.
So like storage.
Pod.
Dropbox.
Exactly.
Dropbox.
Pods.
Pods.
Yep. It was
Like
pods.
pod storage.
Pod storage.
PODS. Pods.
Clearwater, Florida.
Really?
Now
Right.
let me give you a little bit of background
Yeah,
about
let's get-
Peter
yeah,
Warhurst.
let's-
Okay, so this
okay.
guy was born in New York City, and this changed the course. It's so wild. So he was a firefighter. So he was in New York City one time. He saw a girl got hit by a car, and it changed his life. And he wanted to help her so much that he decided that he was going to become a volunteer firefighter for New York City. When it came time for tests,
Noble.
he did not place out. They didn't have any room for him. A buddy here in Largo, Florida, said, hey, come down to Largo, and there's a spot for you at the firefighter station. So he comes down, absolutely kills it. Now, I guess, captain of the station, he goes up to him and he says, all right, we're doing a new thing called paramedics, okay? Would you like to try to do paramedics? So he's the first out of 100 people in the state of Florida to become a paramedic, okay? Now, during his paramedic tenure, they wanted to try to dispatch 911. 911 back in the late 70s, wasn't around. Only a quarter of people could access 911, right? So it was almost private companies. They would kind of take 911 and go around dispatches. So what this guy did is he took 21 dispatches, including St. Pete, including Clearwater, including Largo, and he basically developed our 911 system. He got bought out for 7 figures, retired at 40 over in Clearwater.
That's funny because do you remember what the international code is for an emergency signal during our Did You Know That survival tips?
Is 7? No.
211.
211.
And that will call 911 if you're in America and the necessary lines beyond that.
Yeah, dude. So this guy is a pioneer in our city, and we don't even. And then he goes and retires at 40, and he meets a buddy when he was golfing. I'm pretty sure he's at the Bel Air country club probably, and he meets a guy and he says, "Okay, I want to go into storage," because he's
Really?
retirement is
Okay.
shit.
All right,
He's
yeah.
retirement's just he's getting bored, right? So he's 40 still. And
Well,
he goes,
yeah, at that
"We
point,
need
you're
to
kind of
do
sitting
space."
around. You're like, where can I add a couple dollars
So-
here and there to different things and kind of get some different investments going on? I'm bored of the average, we're going to invest your money in this. Now let's get weird with
they
it.
say water tables. Obviously, there's no basements in Florida, which makes
Obviously.
which
Well,
makes
you're really not
storage
supposed to water
units.
table anybody.
But it makes storage units. No, what he did was he ended up first going into storage units,
I got
and then
it.
he
I
goes.
got it.
One day I was driving, and he goes, "I was trying to look for another 4-acre lot in St. Pete. I was trying to open up another storage unit." He goes, "There was no way that I could
And
do
I'm pretty
it."
sure the CIA has a handle on that, or a what do they call it?
CIA.
Yeah, it has a
A lead on that or whatever.
no what Microsoft has.
Big data.
Cookies.
No, Microsoft has they control all the
Big.
what-
The Microsofts. Yeah, they control all the Microsofts.
And those Michaels are some.
no, it's a business sense to where they control everybody. They've
clouds.
got the whole.
The
Now
clouds.
they've got the whole business.
Are you losing your brain power because you're up high altitude, maybe 4,000 feet, flying in the jets?
When you got.
Yeah, that's something we got to bring up.
When you got
What do we have to bring up?
When you've got 18 competitors in business, and you run circles around them, you have a, what do they call it in business? You have a
Monopoly?
monopoly. Yes.
Thank you. I got it.
Thank you.
I got it.
So he had a monopoly on that.
Yes.
That's right. He said Monopoly. Well, that was weird.
It was. Thank you, God.
Anyway, yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in to They Call Us the Breeds. That's Bravo, Romeo, Echo, Sierra. Ryan's trying to show me a note. Just say it, dude.
No, I was just gonna say.
Don't bring it up. Don't bring.
Anyways, we have.
Don't. Well, no. Okay, so Ryan said don't bring it up. Well, no, I'm gonna bring it up because today, Dad.
No.
I feel so bad. No, Ryan. It's
No.
what?
What?
Don't bring up
Are you getting in a bit right now? Because I don't know, but you're trying to. No, Dad was
So-
very disappointed today.
Not really.
So
No.
no. What are you doing right now? You're interrupting. What?
I don't care. Pause it.
Pause it.
Yeah.
What did I do?
No, dude. I love you, but I need. We
What happened?
Don't.
What happened?
nothing. I mean, whatever. Fine.
No, dude, I am so confused right now.
I'm gonna give you.
All right, he's gonna write it down because he doesn't want you guys to hear it. So all right. So we're waiting on Ryan to write the message.
Oh,
down.
it's like Helen Keller. He can't speak, so he's got to write it.
Well, he doesn't want to say it on the air, and he just.
Fuck you, Jeremy.
No. That's what we're gonna bring it up. That's what we're gonna bring up. You're saying don't bring it up. Why wouldn't we bring it up?
Now you guys are messing with me.
Okay. Well, that's part of the fucking show, man.
I know it's part of the show, and we're gonna go see it, but it's a surprise for him.
Well,
Anyways,
what's a surprise for who?
For-
I am
for
so
Dad,
fucking
next
confused right now.
next week I'll explain it all to you. I'll explain it to you all during the intermission. It's for Dad. Anyways, let's go ahead and continue on to what we were going to talk about, and we'll talk about Maverick.
That's
in a little
what
bit.
we were going to talk about.
Yeah, I know, but I can't let you do that right now because there's something there's going to be a surprise, and I'll tell you about it. So,
You gonna tell me?
yes. Well,
So we can't talk about what happened today.
no, we can't talk about what happened today because it's going to be a surprise about what's going to happen next week,
All right. Well,
and I'll tell you. I'll
all
tell you
right.
why.
Tune in next week then for sure.
yeah, I guess tune in next week. Jesus, I have personally no idea.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm at a loss for words, ladies and gentlemen.
it's a
for the
surprise.
first time this show.
I do have a question.
we
What's
just had-
Bathroom Becky?
Bathroom Becky is a whole thing. I mean, wow.
A hole or hole?
Yeah, no. I
Look.
talking about lightning. It's more lightning talk, and I thought we were going to be able to evade getting into more lightning talk, but apparently we're starved for content, so we're probably going to just talk a little bit more about it. But Bathroom Becky, yeah, she's a chick that hangs out in front of the bathrooms around.
Oh, it's Steve's.
No, she hangs outside the bathrooms in the arena, in the alleyway around gate 116, I believe it is. And
Alleyway.
She's been doing it. She has before last night, she has a 7-0 home record of just literally hanging out in between the two tunnels that go to the men's and women's room at gate 116, and she can watch the TV. So she
What's
can.
the 7-0
She's got
represent?
beers. She can get beers and watch the game. And honestly, Bathroom Becky looks like a second grade school teacher to me. So I don't think she's out there pounding beers. But she has been some source of good luck for us. I don't know if Becky was there at the last game last night, but I would venture to guess probably not. Maybe she missed that one. But she's been there during
legend.
7-0. She's been there 7 times doing the thing as of before last night's game.
You
So-
said free tickets, right?
so maybe last night put her at 7-1. I don't know about free tickets. She does have she lifts up the Lightning jersey, and she does have a T-shirt that says Bathroom Becky. So I don't know.
Nice.
If the Lightning jersey provided her that T-shirt or what's going on there, but it is a thing, and it got me thinking about like superstitions and traditions and things. Like, I mean, obviously, for the last 2 years, honestly, I know you're not supposed to trim your beard, right? That's the biggest thing. You're not really supposed to cut your hair. You're not really supposed to trim your beard. I mean, especially if you're a player. But if you're a fan and you can afford to. And then, like me, I have a beard, so it's not like I'm just growing scraggle.
Is it how deep you get in the playoffs, or it's not every game, right? You don't shave after every game.
Well,
right?
You're just not supposed to. You're just not supposed to until it's all over and said.
Let it grow.
But I personally, the first year, 2020, those playoffs, after the bubble playoffs, and then of course last year's playoffs, I did this weird thing randomly. In between second and third series where I trimmed my beard a little bit. I didn't shave my beard, but it was like getting a little gnarly, and I was like, this could be 2 more months, so I need to trim it back a little bit. So I did that in the 2020 season and the 2021 season right after we clinched Series 2. So to be just make sure I had all my T's crossed and my I's dotted and all my superstitious things going on. I made sure I did it again this year. Right after our second series, I trimmed my beard. And, I mean, obviously we got into the fucking cup. So, there's certain superstitions and traditions that people have where you just kind of got to... And I didn't know if you guys had any at all, but, I mean... I feel, I used to feel like anytime I would watch a game versus just letting it go and checking the score out afterwards, I used to feel like every time I watched a game, like spent the whole evening at a bar to watch a game, mainly during regular season, we would lose that fucking game. Like if I took the effort to go out to a bar, and sit there,
and they would always go up very.
It was like a bad luck thing for me to just like commit to going out to a bar and watching the game. It was almost like they were guaranteed to win, or lose every time I went out and watched them.
Generally, like the other team would score like one within the first minute, and you're like, God damn it, dude! Why do I keep coming out to these games?
And I listen.
That's like the light. We put the light on, and then I was. And when she came to bed, I was like, "Oh shit, we unplugged that light. Did we jinx us?"
Yeah, did we jinx it?
Because we put that Ohio State light on every Saturday when the Buckeyes are playing, and we put this.
And you know what, guys? No matter what happens, you guys are going to be getting this show.
And she goes, "I already unplugged the light." This was about a week ago. I go, "You know what? Those guys in Colorado are not going to know."
Last thing we'll say about the entire matchup, guys, is you guys are going to get this on Monday, which means we will already have played 5 and hopefully Game 6, and we're going into
Game 7.
Game 7 on Tuesday night at 8 p.m., hopefully, by the time you hear this. And that's the last thing we're going to say about it, guys. And I believe, and I think all of us still believe.
I believe.
Before we leave the show, we're going to take a quick little break. But before we come back... we're going to have a couple of darts. We're going to talk a little bit because we have a big segment coming up next. We're going to do, did you know that? There's 15 things, the top 15 things that have ever been thrown out onto the hockey ice during a game. Of course, we know the octopi with the Red Wings, but we're going to get a little bit more into that. And then I'm going to end off my show tonight with a hater's going to hate, but it's not so much a hate. Hate is a strong word in this case.
Sure.
It's an encouragement at this point. I'm going to encourage. I'm going to put to challenge anybody who might be at that Game 6.
Yeah, on the throne.
So, guys, we'll get into that in a minute. Ryan, what do you say?
Smoke a dart. Be right back.
All right, Dad, what do you say?
Smoke a dart.
All right, let's go, guys. Bye.
Later.
Or throw a dart. Throw a dart, I think, is the correct thing.
Did you know that?
Well, hey guys, welcome back to They Call Us the Breeds. That's Bravo, Romeo, Echo, Sierra, live from the Tiger Cage. Episode 49, guys. Wow. We're getting close to that year anniversary.
Yeah,
we
we
really
are.
are. We should do something fun for the year anniversary.
Any ideas?
I could probably come up with a couple in the next couple of weeks. We'll probably figure it out. Guys, thank you so much for joining us out there. I know we've been really hockey-centric tonight, and it doesn't stop there. We're going to go a little more hockey, but not so much on exactly what's going on in the Stanley Cup playoffs. We're just going to get some fluff, a little hockey
Just
fluff.
more so
in
just
here.
about hockey in general,
Yeah,
right?
a little hockey fluff. And we're going to start things off, our last segment tonight before we go. And I can smell the tacos are cooking.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm excited to get in there and eat some dinner. So let's wrap this shit up. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe an episode of Holy Moly?
Probably. But you challenging me? Oh, I'll get down as moly. Guys,
Okay.
it's time for Did You Know That? Let's do it.
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Can you believe it?
Russell, did you realize that?
No, I did not realize that.
And I learned something today.
That's right, guys. Did you know that here on The Breeze? Tonight we're talking hockey facts.
Yeah.
You know, so this will lead into my haters gonna hate here in a minute. But there was something that happened at the end of Game 3 when we won where a lot of the fans are giving these noisemakers.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
they start
create
throwing
thunder.
these noisemakers out on the ice after the win in Game 3 at home, which I understand celebratory things get thrown on the ice. And I'm going to go into that a little bit in my haters going to hate here in a minute. But that led me to think, I mean, we all know about the octopi, the legend of the octopi. Mm-hmm. We all know about the hat trick and the hats on the ice and things like that. But what else? What other crazy things have been thrown on the ice maybe, like in the history, of the NHL? And what things maybe became traditions? Maybe some things were one-off circumstances. But I decided to dig a little deeper, and I came up with a list of the top 15 things.
Well, I have one, and I don't know where it is on that list, but I told you when
But these are
the
basically
bears,
the
teddy bears.
Yeah, these are basically the top 15 things in a list that I read on what things
Did you
were
know
out
that?
there. So did you know that? Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, without further ado, first thing, jerseys.
Mm-mm.
And this is a bad thing. This is not a compliment. Obviously, if you're so fucking done with your team, if you get to that point where you throw your own sweater out on the ice and just retire it, and sweaters, what these days cost $200, $300, $400
$300.
Fuck
Yeah.
you.
You know,
can have it.
a good sweater is going to cost you like $300,
That's not
$400
good.
with a name on the back of it. If you're going to toss a sweater onto the ice, that's pretty much saying
Giving up on your team.
I'm giving up. And the latest example of that, the most recent example of that was in 2021 December. There was a fan of the Vancouver Canucks. They went on to sweep that game, not sweep that game, but they went on to actually win that game pretty heavy-fistedly. But from what that fan was saying after the first period, he just did not like it. He threw
I've
his
had
phone.
enough.
You did not. We're just warming up, bro.
He didn't even
crushing.
wait. He didn't even wait. They ended up winning, but he just didn't wait. And he threw that jersey
I'm
out.
over this shit.
Now, but
It's
hats.
I'm going home.
But hats. We all know about the hats.
Yes,
know,
hat trick. Let's throw.
absolutely.
Did you
And
know
do you
that?
know what happens to the hat tricks or the hats when they're done
Well,
with them? The players.
I thought they were called the Gordie Howe hat trick.
Well, the Gordie Howe hat trick is if you get in a fight, if you get a penalty, if you
Okay,
get a
never mind. I'm
score,
thinking of
and if
something
you get an
different. I'm thinking of
assist,
something
all
totally
three. But what the players do with their hats, they collect them and they put them in trash bags. So like Ovechkin, like back MTV Cribs, like back when he was like a stud.
just had a trash bag full of hats.
In his garage, it was just lined up with like black trash bags. He's like, these are all the hats that I've
gotten on hat tricks.
Yeah.
So the hat trick, we all know, if you score 3 goals, right, you get a hat trick. And mostly, fans are going to throw their ball caps out on the ice. That's when you, as a fan,
Again,
if
$30
you're-
hat,
if
$40
you're-
hat.
if
You
you're-
just bought it, and now you have to throw it on
it
the ice.
doesn't matter.
You know what I mean?
At that point, like
eBay when he retires.
just like last night's game, I started it at Stevens. Just like I take my hat off for the national anthem, and so do the older guys in the bar.
Sure.
They take their hat
Of
off
course,
for the
they're like
national
veterans
anthem.
in there, dude.
Yeah, they know what's up, and I take
Respect.
my hat off. It's part of respect. You take your hat off for the national anthem. Just in that same way, you throw your hat in. It doesn't matter if that's a brand new hat, $40 hat. You're going to throw your hat in. It's the hat.
It's a
tray.
representation of you.
Well, it didn't actually start in hockey. Funny enough, it was in 1858 a bowler for the English squad, like a lawn bowling.
Oh,
you know,
yes.
Sweet.
He did this thing where what they said he basically he had 3 consecutive wickets. Now a wicket, I guess, in lawn bowling or whatever, is he hit the wooden stakes behind the batter.
Oh,
the batter
yes.
wasn't able to actually hit the ball off of him, and
Are
he
you
hit
talking about cricket?
cricket.
Yeah,
Well,
the bowler is like the pitcher, and then you have the dudes that hit it on the ground.
yeah.
But if you hit the 2 sticks in the back, it's like
it's a goal, and
Right.
he did this 3 consecutive times to win out for their team, and they made him a special hat to commemorate the 3 in a row win. So
hat
that's where
trick.
the hat
trick
comes
came
in to play. But that's not the only thing that gets thrown out. Tons of shit. A lot of this stuff happens when refs are giving really bad calls, right? And you're going to get some things that the fans are going to throw out. The coaches are even not far from guilty here. I got 191, the Kings coach, hockey sticks. He started throwing onto the ice. His own players' hockey sticks.
Yeah.
He was so pissed off. Coach Tom Webster, he was so pissed off at a referee that he just started throwing his players' hockey sticks in a javelin type formation.
Naturally.
At the ref. Literally at the ref. He got suspended, though. I mean, he got suspended 12 games, and the Kings were subsequently fined $10,000. But, yeah, he got his point across. He got a couple sticks across, I'm
Sorry,
sure.
boys. I got a little bit hot out there.
It brings me back to 1990 when
Christ.
Lou Piniella was coaching the Reds, which they ended up winning the World Series. But you know how hothead he was. He disliked to call it first base. And
Took the base.
He picked
Right,
first
threw
base up out of the peg and threw it out in the right field. Apparently, obviously he got ejected, but
Okay, you want to talk about that? How about a bench? There was
bench?
a coach that threw the whole fucking bench
Hockey
out of
bench?
the fucking
Over the side of the wall?
out of the bench. He picked the bench up and threw it. Yeah, this was actually the Devils coach, Robbie Ftorek.
Somebody help me with this.
Ftorek. But Devils coach, he was so angry after one of their players got a check where he got smashed into the fucking boards and he went face first. And he was like gushing blood all over the fucking ice. And in that whole commotion, they never blew the whistle. They just kept playing, and then I think it was the Red Wings, probably, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they scored.
Yeah, the Red Wings scored to win the game, and the coach was fucking so pissed that they didn't even call it. He just picked up the bench and just threw it onto the fucking ice.
Yeah.
He was ejected for that game, and he did serve a suspension for the next game, but only a 2-game suspension in that case. But I mean, hot dogs and hamburgers. In 2013, there was a shootout between the Bruins and the Devils. And one fan just didn't really like the way Tyler Seguin.
Sagan. Yeah.
Seguin. I thought it was
Sagan.
Sagan.
Tyler Sagan.
Tyler Seguin.
Sagan.
But yeah, so they were
Like
doing
Carl
a shootout.
Sagan. Yes.
They were doing a shootout, and a fan just straight up threw a hot dog out onto the ice while he was doing his turn in the shootout. Like just during his turn, didn't even wait for like the play to be over. A fan just launched his fucking hot dog right in the middle of his turn at the shootout.
Who has the foot long?
So they gave him an extra shot, and he ended up scoring on it, and they ended up winning that game.
That is crazy.
But hamburgers, though, there was in 2015 the Senators, Ottawa, their goalie Andrew Hammond, he was nicknamed the Hamburglar because he had like this huge record. It was like 20-1-2, and it pushed them into the fucking playoffs. So they started calling this dude the Hamburglar. Well, obviously, if you say something like that, the fans are going to catch on, and very shortly after that, fans were coming into the arena.
Double cheese.
I'm assuming probably buying like McDonald's cheeseburgers,
Oh,
but
yeah,
they were
dude,
buying
you're
like
like-
tons of cheeseburgers and throwing them out on the ice.
I bet their local McDonald's, they weren't running like 10 for 10 deals.
Well, they
They're
did
like-
this. They did this in one game, and his
loved it. Their
teammate,
sales
one of
were
his
up
teammates,
over the-
Lazar, like grabbed
one? I
a
would
fucking
totally.
burger off the ice, and he ate one. And
I
in
would totally.
In the press conference later, he's like, "I was hungry. I fucking grabbed
All right.
it. Could have used a little ketchup, is what he said. but-
Our fourth quarter sales
Was it during warm-ups,
of 2019 and our first quarter sales of 2020 are up like 34%.
Waffles. You know, one fan in December 2010, one fan was pissed that the Leafs were fucking sleeping on a game, and he decided to send a message basically saying, wake up and fucking eat the most important meal of the day, and then let's get back to this hockey game. So he threw a fucking Eggo waffle.
Yeah, wake up and eat some breakfast.
He threw an Eggo waffle out onto the ice. He got a lifetime ban from the arena. That's about all that happened to him.
For a waffle.
But, you know, we were talking about the octopi, and we'll get into that. That's the number one thing. But, you know, when the Predators started in 98, they didn't really have a whole lot of history or any sort of, like, traditions tied to their team. And they were trying to figure out how can we, you know, do some things and make things fun for. And so two very funny guys decided that they went to a local seafood shop. They bought catfish in honor of the octopi. But what's more southern than catfish? So the Nashville Predators in 2002, people started sneaking in catfish taped to their backs and taped to their legs.
Real catfish.
I mean, dead, but just throw them out on the ice. You know, probably wrap them in newspaper, taping it. I mean, come on, can you imagine like waiting for the first Nashville goal? And sometimes you might wait 2-3 periods and not even get a goal.
So you just have this like catfish, like
just catfish taped to you
the whole
starting
time.
to sweat.
Imagine that on the deck when we went to the 2000 whatever playoffs in that 80-something degree heat.
Now,
in
one
the
thing,
sun,
yeah.
Well, you
waiting
probably
for
put it
the-
under your seat.
It's pretty disgusting.
But it would
kinda
smell.
stinking,
It would
man. You're kinda
smell so
stinking.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Smell
would be
like fish.
pretty fucking terrible. One thing Dad did mention, I was surprised that he knew about this in minor leagues and in some junior leagues, and I think Chicago might do it as well for the NHL. But there's a Christmas tradition for the needy children and kids that are a little less fortunate out there, and this is one tradition that is not banned from any stadium in those regards. They do Christmas toy drives, and where thousands of teddy bears are thrown onto the ice, usually after a home team scores their first goal. Everyone throws a brand new, you know, teddy bear out on the ice, and they're all collected, they're all handed to charity. That's a good example of some ice play.
Absolutely.
I like that ice play.
Yeah. And there's been streakers, you know, there's been other people, there's been plastic rats. There's even been Magic the Gathering cards to try to get a little spell going. I mean, it was the guy's wallet, but it busted open, and there was Magic cards that were strewn out all over the ice. That was actually that's a true
Buffalo
story.
Sabres
No,
game. It would be Buffalo.
Some dude in the Buffalo Sabres game threw his cell phone and wallet, and the wallet like hit the top of the glass, and the wallet busted open, and like
He's like,
20
"Fuck."
Magic the Gathering cards flew out everywhere.
Don't touch him.
Yeah, don't fucking touch them. Don't fuck with them. But yeah, no magic spells were presented that night because the Sabres still lost that game. But, San Jose, some dumbass dude in 2007, San Jose Sharks, snuck a 4-foot leopard shark.
I remember seeing
leopard
this.
shark into the fucking arena.
What a maniac.
Like, how do you do that, dude? I mean, obviously it had to have been dead, right?
But that's sweet.
But yeah, so like during
Well, that is stink-
so it was
stink.
It's not cold, so
it was
you're wearing,
it was
like, a
it was a
sweater?
guy it was a guy for the San Jose Sharks. It was a game 4 of the Western Conference semifinals against Detroit Red Wings, and the dude just literally chucked the 4-foot leopard shark onto the ice during play. Like didn't even wait till after the fucking play.
I'm sure they
No,
know
just
who
wait.
he was.
No, I'm going. I'm going.
sure he
I'm
was
going
caught.
right now.
All right.
I mean, you got cameras. There's no way you cannot see who did that.
So yeah, I mean, what
4
happened to that
feet
guy?
though, dude. 4 feet.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like
You get arrested during
It's about
things like that.
Yeah,
How
I
the
mean,
fuck-
it's not that
that's
big.
that tall,
it's
dude.
probably
How do you-
about that big.
And then they're
around.
like, leopard sharks are endangered, so that's an additional charge.
Yeah, we're gonna need to get
But I mean,
PETA down here.
The most famous one, you know, that the Predators kind of based their catfish one off of. Obviously, the most famous one we've all heard about, the octopi. You guys have all heard about the octopi out there with the Detroit Red Wings octopus getting thrown onto the ice. But do you know why?
Nope.
And did you know that? That's why we're here.
Did you
for
know that?
I didn't even know they had octopus up in the Great Lakes.
So one of the most famous stories of ice play is, the octopi for the Detroit Red Wings. We've all heard about them throwing an octopus onto the ice. Now, that doesn't seem to make any sense if you think about, modern day hockey, but it makes a lot more sense if you think about previous day hockey, which is when this came out in probably 54? 52, probably 52 playoffs, right? The original 6. This is back when the NHL was only 6 teams. You had the Montreal Canadiens, you had the Toronto Maple Leafs, you had Detroit Red Wings, you had Boston Bruins, You
Canadian.
had
we say Canadian.
One more Canadian team, probably.
Edmonton Oilers, I think,
Yeah.
were in there, and maybe
Those are only like
Minnesota-
2 United States
or,
teams.
not Minnesota. It would have been
U.S.
somewhere.
only had 2 teams, right?
New York, maybe? No,
Yeah,
not
maybe
New
in New
York.
York.
Nah, probably not.
Maybe
Boston,
Hartford Whalers. Maybe Hartford
maybe
Whalers were back then.
Chicago or something. Maybe
Connecticut.
Chicago.
Well, maybe Blackhawks are probably in there. Okay, yeah. So that basically rounds it out. Well, during the original 6, they used to only play best of. They used to play 2 series to get to the Cup, not 4 series.
Right, 'cause-
I mean, obviously there were 6 fucking teams.
Yeah.
So they would play. Basically, you would play best of
5.
best
maybe.
of 14 games, and so you only needed 8 games total to win. You know, four games with both series. And what's 8? Octopus tentacles, right? So back in that day, 52, I think the playoffs, I think the Wings were playing probably, oh gosh, what do my notes say? Yeah, okay, so they were going to be playing the Leafs and the Canadiens in that playoff series for the Cup. And these 2 dumbass brothers that owned a seafood shop snuck in an octopus, tossed it on the ice. 8 tentacles represent 8 wins that they needed, and they were a powerhouse. So they were like saying, it's only going to take us 8 games to win all of this. And they end up sweeping Montreal
games?
and Toronto 4-0, and they win out. So that's why that tradition stuck. So yeah,
God
little
dang.
did you know that, guys?
Did you know that?
Yeah.
That's good. I like that octopi one, man. I didn't know exactly the depth.
Yeah, we
of
all
it.
That's a
know.
good story.
Yeah,
That's
we
a
all
good
know
story.
the octopi tradition, but that's exactly
That's a
why
good
it came
story.
out. Yeah, because of the 8 wins it took. And guys, before we go tonight, as promised, we're going to get into a little haters gonna hate.
We have to.
And it's not haters necessarily. Hate is a strong word here.
Disgruntled people.
I'm just gonna say,
Karen's negative.
Karens are gonna Karen. Okay, and here we go, guys. It's time for haters gonna hate. Let's do it.
The most diabolical haters this side of the Mississippi.
Before we leave you tonight, if you're out there listening live in YouTube land, which you're probably not because we're having YouTube issues right now, but we don't know what's going to happen when we come back Monday.
We don't.
Or when you
It's
hear
a
this show
scary,
on Monday. We
scary
don't know what's
thought.
going to happen Friday and Sunday night. But one thing I'm just going to will out to the world. My haters going to hate for tonight is, guys, I listen to the shows on the radio a lot. Okay? And that doesn't even matter. I listen to the shows on TV as well. But on the radio, I mean, Dave and Phil, they pretty much sit in the same spot every show. You're going to hear the crowd noise. I have heard some of the weakest fucking crowd participation out of now, and I'm going to say this because I don't go to the shows, okay? And I can't afford to, and honestly, I'm usually working. I work nights. So most times I'm either working or I'm doing the 2 different podcasts. Is this football? They call us the breeze. Or I'm working a shift and I'm trying my damnedest to get home in time to watch a 10-minute commute home to watch the second period in most cases. But I've listened to the radio and I've watched the TV. And one thing that I have noticed throughout this entire series, and I'm not talking about just here, with the Avalanche. I'm talking about with the Rangers last series. I'm talking about Florida. I mean, even when we were sweeping Florida, it lacked. And then the 7-game series, I mean,
You're talking about the Tampa Bay
I'm talking about
Lightning.
the fans in that stadium. Now, and like I said, I can't preach too hard because I'm not going there. I can't afford to, and I don't have the time to. But if my ass is there, I'm not going to be able to speak clearly for 2 days straight. I'm going to be screaming my ass off the entire time. And I have heard us go to other stadiums throughout this entire series, all 4 series. And I have heard every single other auditorium just being gangbusters loud.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like you mentioned, the New York Rangers.
New York Rangers, perfect. Thank you, Ryan, for bringing this up. Perfect example. The New York Rangers, they do this fucking thing where they play Say It Ain't So or All the Small Things by Blink-182. They play that during a puck drop. It's a tradition that they do every game. They play the beginning of All the Small Things by Blink-182. They do the puck drop. And the crowd just continues to sing it.
Yeah.
Every word. And you can't stop the crowd. You can only stop like the house music when the puck drops, but you can't stop the crowd from doing what they're going to do. This crowd just
Blink 182,
continues to
man.
sing
Blink
a
182.
fucking Blink because they're that into it, man. And that's just their thing. We don't do anything like that. Now, like I said, I'm not showing up, and I'm not saying, guys, we love seeing your faces out there, and we love you supporting the team. We love you going out there and spending the money and buying the T-shirts and buying the drinks, and we love to see your faces out there when we're watching the outside party, and you guys are all in your lawn chairs,
Thunder Alley.
sweating your asses off. We appreciate you guys being out there. I'm talking about the people in the stands that are, in most cases, spending $500 to $2,000 to be there. And what? They're just taking Facebook pictures and Instagram pictures that are showing that they're at the game. And they're just kind of... The music and the organ player are louder than our fans are right now. And I'm not saying hate, because hate is a strong word, but...
We need to bring it.
Let's bring it,
if
guys.
we want go
because
three-peat,
we're coming
we
back.
need to
We're
bring
coming back for Game 6. And if we don't fucking bring it...
Be the Thunder.
We're
is
not
what
gonna
you're
win
saying.
it.
Be the Thunder.
Absolutely. It'll come down to
They
That's
our...
advertise all
it.
the time. Be the Thunder.
That's it. Remy out, you know.
Remy
I mean,
out.
that's it. That's it for me tonight, guys.
Ryan
I don't know if
out.
you guys have anything else to say.
Ryan out. Taco
We're
time.
out. We're out. Be the
We'll
Thunder.
see you guys
Bring
on
the
Monday.
Thunder.
Well, we won't see you on Monday, but you guys are going to hear this show on Monday. And hopefully when we talk to you Thursday after Game 7, Tuesday night,
We're going to have a W championship.
hopefully we're talking to you guys with belts wrapped around our fucking waists, okay? We love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. They call
Have
us
a
The
good
Breeze.
night.
That's
Thank
Bravo,
you.
Romeo,
Bye.
Echo, Sierra, episode 49. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you next week, guys. Good night. Bye-bye. We love you.